Awesome. What would you like to tweak or add? Do you want more energy, a stronger closing, or maybe a personal story to make it even more powerful? Let me know how you want to dial it up. Let's get one thing straight. Wealth is not a number in your bank account. It's not about how much money you make every month, and it's definitely not about how much you spend to impress other people. Wealth is built on a foundation of strategy, discipline, and most importantly, your mindset. Think about it. We've all heard stories of people who win the lottery and end up broke just a few years later. They had millions handed to them, yet they lost it all. On the flip side, there are people who start with nothing, no trust fund, no lucky breaks, yet they build lasting wealth over time. What's the difference? It's not the income, it's not luck, it's the way they think about money and the way they use it. See, most people are stuck in a cycle. They work hard, they get paid, and then what happens? The money disappears. Bills, groceries, entertainment, impulse purchases. It's gone before they even realize it. And then they tell themselves, if only I made more money, I'd be fine. But that's a lie. Because if you don't know how to manage $2,000 a month, you won't magically figure it out when you're making $20,000 a month. The wealthy understand this. They know that building wealth isn't about making more, it's about keeping more, growing more, and multiplying what you have. They don't just work for money, they make money work for them. It starts with a shift in mindset. Instead of seeing money as something that flows in and out of your life uncontrollably, you need to see it as a tool, one that you have complete control over. When you stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an investor, everything changes. Instead of asking, how much can I afford, you start asking, how can I make my money grow? Instead of thinking about short-term gratification, you start focusing on long-term wealth. And let's talk about strategy. Wealth isn't built by accident, it's built by design. The wealthy don't just spend mindlessly. They allocate their money with intention. They budget, they invest, they build multiple streams of income. They understand that every dollar has a purpose, and they make sure it's working toward their financial freedom. Most people let their emotions control their money. They feel stressed, so they spend. They feel bored, so they shop. They feel pressure from society, so they upgrade their lifestyle. But the wealthy think differently. They make decisions based on logic and long-term goals, not fleeting emotions. And here's the kicker. You don't have to be rich to start thinking like the wealthy. You can start today, no matter how much you make. You can start by tracking your spending, cutting unnecessary expenses, and redirecting that money towards savings and investments. You can start by educating yourself about finances, learning about investing, and taking small steps toward financial independence. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the size of your paycheck, it's about the size of your vision. It's about how you see money, how you use it, and how you position yourself for success. Wealth isn't reserved for the lucky or the privileged. It's available to anyone willing to adopt the right mindset and follow the right strategies. And that, my friends, is where the journey truly begins. Most people believe that success, whether it's financial freedom, a thriving business, or even personal growth, comes from one big breakthrough, one massive win that changes everything. But that's not how real wealth is built. The truth is, success isn't about huge, dramatic moves. It's about the small, consistent actions you take every single day. Think about water carving through rock. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not one big wave that reshapes the landscape. It's the slow, steady flow, day after day, year after year, that creates deep canyons and changes the shape of mountains. Your financial future works the same way. Wealth isn't built in a single moment of luck. It's built through disciplined action, repeated over time. Look at some of the wealthiest people in the world. They didn't wake up one day and suddenly become rich. They built their fortune brick by brick, decision by decision. They started small, stayed consistent, and let time do its magic. The power of compounding is real, not just in money, but in effort, discipline, and smart financial habits. The problem is most people overestimate what they can do in a short period and underestimate what they can achieve over years of consistency. They start saving, but when they don't see immediate results, they give up. They invest, but when the market dips, they panic and pull out. They start learning a new skill, but when they don't master it in a few weeks, they quit. And that's exactly why most people stay stuck, because they don't trust the process. Wealth is not about making one big financial move. It's about small, smart decisions that stack up over time. Saving $5 a day might not seem like much, but over 10, 20, or 30 years, that money can turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Investing a small percentage of your income might not feel life-changing today, but in the future, it can provide financial freedom. Paying off a little extra on your debt each month might seem insignificant now, but in the long run, it can save you thousands in interest and years of stress. It's about building habits. Habits that at first seem small and unimportant, but over time create unstoppable momentum. Imagine if, instead of wasting money on things that don't serve you, you started directing it toward your future. Imagine if, instead of thinking about what you don't have, you focused on building something greater. Imagine if every day you took just one step toward financial independence. Whether it's reading a book about investing, putting an extra $10 into your savings, or finding a way to earn a little extra income. You don't need a massive income to build wealth. You don't need a huge financial windfall to get ahead. You just need to start small, steady, and consistent. Because here's the truth. Tiny changes, repeated daily, lead to massive transformations over time.